flow of traffic, but you're not interrupting traffic. And you put things on display so that people can be like, oh my God, I like those mannequins. That's great. I want to go in. Or, hey, I don't like those mannequins, so I'm not going to go in. So people feel like they have a choice. Does that make sense? And so this is what I call the difference between interruption marketing and invitational marketing. And interruption marketing, I believe, I want you to just think about this, is what like 95% of people online have been taught and are doing. It's really like you don't have.
How many times have we shared the after picture without sharing how long the journey was? This is something that if you are willing to fall on your face, you can do it. The question is, are you willing to get back up? My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I'm the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership, and for the last 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 entrepreneurs to take ownership of their businesses and create tangible results that have changed their businesses and lives forever. Let's dive in.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Your Push Coach. My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I would love to hear from you because I'm thinking about rebranding the name of my podcast because, as you've noticed, this year I've transitioned a little bit away from so much of like the push coach stuff, which is like the more of like the performance metrics and the motivation and the showing up. And we've gone in a lot more on really sales and messaging, which is something I love talking about so much. So I'd love to hear your feedback. I know a lot of you already go ahead and tag my podcast in your stories. Would love it if you would tag me in your stories and maybe let me know. Are you still digging Push Coach? Or do you think I should maybe like change that up and maybe just go literally by my name or maybe add some type of messaging coach or something like that? Anyways, I'm interested to hear from you. Today, we got a really exciting podcast talking about the difference between interruption marketing and invitational marketing. This is going to be fun. Okay. I love to talk about these two things against each other. And we're going to hit this up in like 10 or 15 minutes because I think like really it's about this very, very, very simple perspective. Okay. On one hand, we've got what I call American Eagle marketing. The other one is the Flatiron guy. And I want you to see if you can figure out which one is the interruption and which one is the invitational. So the Flatiron guy, every single mall's got one, somebody selling something, and then you've got a kiosk right outside of like the American Eagle or the Buckle. And this guy is like, I mean, he is like the most charismatic person you've ever heard in your life that's got his scripts down. He knows exactly what he's saying, knows exactly what he's doing, and he's just trying to make eye contact with every single person that walks by. He doesn't have his own traffic, so he's kind of set up in the middle, interrupting traffic, which is really smart to do, right? Like if you don't have your own store, my God, go to the place where all the traffic is, right? But here's the only problem with this version of marketing is one, you got to work really freaking hard. I used to work in a shoe store where there was just so much freaking traffic. We did like $30,000 days, and I would like literally go home and couldn't sleep because my mind would just be still going 1,000 miles an hour. So you've got the mental, emotional, and spiritual toll that you have to pay every single day. And it's, I don't know if you ever heard this quote. It says, success, you never own success, you rent it, and the rent is due every single day. And I get it. And I agree with it to some perspective, but I also think that there's some kind of like toxic hustle mentality behind that. And I'm not against hustle. I believe in hustle, but I think that there is like this balance to it, like there is anything else, right? And if it's like, oh, I'm going to show up and work harder than everyone else in the world today, I don't know that that's the healthiest way to live your life. I'm going to show up today. I'm going to work as hard as I said I was going to work, but there's some very, 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 very clear boundaries on that. And there is a clock out time every single day. In fact, as soon as I'm done with this episode, clocking out, the kids will be home and we're going to hang out all night. Okay. So that's very important to me. So you've got the mental toll, you've got the mental, emotional, spiritual toll, but then you've also got like you just better be the kind of person that can straight up talk to anybody in the world. And from the people that I've met that are doing online businesses, honestly, 95% of them are introverts. I don't know that this is the best way for you to approach business, okay? My kind of personality actually could handle it for a little bit, but even then I would get totally burned out. I would I would just emotionally wreck myself. Okay. So that's not really the way I want to do business. There's this other way to do business though, and that is what I call like the more like the American Eagle marketing, where you have a store that is in the flow of traffic, but it doesn't necessarily interrupt traffic. In other words, you've made it to where people can walk by if they want or walk in. You're in the flow of traffic, but you're not interrupting traffic. And you put things on display so that people can be like, oh my God, I like those mannequins. That's great. I want to go in. Or, hey, I don't like those mannequins, so I'm not going to go in. So people feel like they have a choice. Does that make sense? And so this is what I call the difference between interruption marketing and invitational marketing. And interruption marketing, I believe, I want you to just think about this, is what like 95% of people online have been taught and are doing. It's really like you don't have your own place that's in the flow of traffic. You are just jumping in there and trying to interrupt everybody. And here's what I mean. I don't mean by posting, okay? Posting to me is very invitational. You can scroll past it if you want, but spamming a bunch of people in the DMs that have never talked to you, have never liked anything you've done, to me, that's very interruption marketing, okay? And the better way to do it is invitational marketing. Now, organic content is one singular way to do that, okay? But not everybody's really good at creating organic content that takes off. And so one of the things that I do, you've probably been seeing it if you've been clicking on any of my stuff, what I do is I record a whole bunch of motivational stuff. Sometimes they're static posts, sometimes they're videos and reels. And what I do is I literally go to the ads manager in Facebook/Instagram and I boost them for like $5 to $10 a day. And the whole point is to get my face, my name, and my message out to more people without filling up their inbox, without filling up their DMs where people feel like you like totally interrupted their day. If I show up in your feed, you get to choose. Do I walk in? Do I not walk in? So if you think about it, my engagement ads, that's what I call them, are like my mannequins. I'm just putting out mannequins on Facebook and Instagram. I'm just saying, hey, if you really like this, you'd probably like more of me. And then sometimes I add a button where you can click on it to go listen to my podcast. Sometimes there's no button at all, because I do think that sometimes a button itself creates a little bit of a pressure, like, oh my God, if I watch this, I have to do something. So I put buttons on some of them, don't put buttons on some. And the idea is I'm just going to create a lot of good stuff, throw it out to the world, and then allow people to decide, do you like me? Do you not like me? If you don't like me, keep scrolling. If you like me, click on it. And then I also do things like webinars and workshops. And it's really, really, really important to have something that is free and engaging, that gives people kind of more of an environment and an experience where they want to buy. One of the things that I teach in my 626 program is exactly how I put on webinars. So I teach people how to name them, teach people how to set up the event, how to invite to them. I teach them the exact way to create a presentation that helps people to show up that want to learn one thing, and by the end of it to see your program as the thing that they see as their solution. And it's so important to have things like this, because if you don't, here's the thing, guys, one-on-one messaging can sell if you really know what you're doing. And that's another thing we talk about in the 626 is how to use questions to coach people instead of trying to convince them. Very, very important if you're talking to people one-on-one. However, I also tell them that as long as you're depending fully on one-on-one conversations, you will never be able to scale your business, because there's just no way you can just 10x the amount of people that you're talking to and expect to love what you do. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm here to do something I love for a living. That was the entire purpose behind getting certified as a life coach. Is I want to do something I love for a living. That's why I played music for so many years. I didn't go where I wanted to go, but like, I want to love something, right? I don't want to hate something. So it's very, very important that you understand how to create something free that is so amazing that everyone, first of all, wants to attend. And then second of all, creates what I call a buyer's experience, where by the end of it, people are like, oh my God, I want to join this program or buy that product, or like whatever that is. Okay. So I want to encourage you to start thinking less about interrupting and more about inviting. And when I say inviting, I don't mean showing up in their DMs. I don't mean like sending a ton of messages. Hey, I know you've never seen me or never heard me, but I think you're amazing. You should join me. Okay. I want you to think, how can I create more invitational content than interrupting content? Okay. This means I got to think about the other person. I got to think about what they're looking for. I got to think about what they want. I got to think about what they need. I got to think about what they desire. I got to think about what's going on in their head. I talk about this a lot on this show, is what's going on in between their ears that's keeping them from taking action on the thing they want to do. Those are the things that I got to think about. And then I create resources, whether it's my organic content or my paid content or my webinars and workshops. All of this content is created around what my ideal customer wants, needs, and desires, and what's standing in their way. When you know how to do that, you can create content that is invitational instead of interruptional. I just made up that word, interruptional. Invitational instead of interruptional. Okay. You want to make people walk by, and you want to be in the flow of traffic, not the one interrupting traffic. Okay. I hope that helps you so much today. I would love if you would tag me in your stories and just tell me what your takeaway was from this episode and what pivot or shift you're going to make in your content or your business to make sure that you are in the flow of traffic, but not trying so hard to interrupt it. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Love you so much. I hope that all of my invitational marketing is just showing up all over your feed. I think I've got like 2 different static posts and like 4 different videos running right now. So if you see those, make sure and drop a comment and say hi. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Don't forget, everything you need already on the inside. All the resources you'll ever need right under your nose. Have a great day. I will see you soon. Bye, friends.
This is something that if you are willing to fall on your face, you can do it. The question is, are you willing to get back up? My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I'm the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership, and for the last 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 entrepreneurs to take ownership of their businesses and create tangible results that have changed their businesses and lives forever. Let's dive in.